This is a presentation of the Sports Source Digital Network, presented by Hearthside Bank.
It's the final regular season weekend for the Lady Vols, and the emotion started early for one Karen Weekly, what the senior class has meant to the head coach. Next on Sports Source Digital Network. 5 players make up this senior class, and head coach Karen Weekly describes that core group of Lady Vols as culture caretakers. In their time at Tennessee, they've seen historic levels of success, but their impact goes far beyond how often they're in the win column.
You know, that's something you have to water it. You have to nurture it every single day. And you look at, Boo and Katie, who this is 4 years for them. Like, they understand what it means to be a Lady Vol as well as anybody ever has. And those two, I never, ever, ever have to worry about them. They never take a rep off. They never miss an opportunity to, say, hey, that's on me, or to tell a teammate that they need to step it up a little bit. And you can't put a value on people like that.
The seniors will officially be celebrated before Game 3 against Texas A&M this weekend on Saturday. And of course, the celebration and ceremony itself is an emotional time, not only for the players, but for the coaches, and maybe even more so, Lady Vol fans. But those emotions and that sentimental feeling hit Karen Weekly earlier in the week, and to her surprise, it came during what she describes as a mundane and casual exchange with her first baseman, McKenna Gibson.
It's like Boo walked in today. And, she's like, hey, and I said, hi. And she stopped. She goes, what? You're looking at me weird. And I said, because I'm realizing this is the last week of regular season practice I'll ever get to experience with you. She goes, Karen, don't say that. Stop. Don't remind me. And I said, I know. And then we both acknowledged this is not the end for us. Like, we're going to be playing softball for a lot longer than just this week. But those kinds of things hit me. Monday, I was like, man, this is the last first day of the last week of regular season practice with these 5 young women. And I think I'm so grateful for them saying yes to Tennessee and just investing everything they have in this program. They've all, like I said, left their mark.
Emotions are certain this weekend, especially when you take into consideration that it's the last regular season series of the season.
They've all meant a ton to this program. But at the same time, let's go play a ball game and make sure we've got everything, in the tank to play that game. I like to do most of the celebrating and kind of the stuff that may be a little tear-jerking after the game. So, we'll honor them pregame, but then we'll have our own celebration with our entire team and all of our families postgame.
And for seniors like catcher Sophia Nugent, this weekend is especially special, mostly because most of her entire family will make the long trip to Knoxville to celebrate, in large part, a career coming to an end. She spent her last 2 seasons here on Rocky Top, and while she grew up with her family watching her play the sport, getting to watch her play in Knoxville sometimes is a rare experience, so one she's certainly holding dear this weekend.
It's really special. I've played in front of my family my whole life, and them being able to see me at the college level is wonderful.
Sophia transferred to Tennessee in her junior campaign, and getting to have 2 seasons on Rocky Top has meant the world to her, even more so knowing that she's representing the Lady Vol brand.
I feel like Lady Vol just means you're supporting other women, you're supporting the younger generations, just to be able to show them, pave the way for the future, and then really just promoting women's sports overall.
And despite only playing 2 seasons as the Lady Vol, Karen Weekly has undoubtedly had a massive impact on the catcher.
Karen has had such a huge impact. I mean, she pushes us to be better people on and off the field, just really making us strong as individuals.
And while Senior Day and Senior Weekend certainly headlines the last regular season weekend of the season, they also have to take into account that they're facing another team, and they still have to go out there and finish business, because there are a lot of goals that they're trying to achieve this season, and some could be realized this weekend when you look at being able to clinch the regular season title for the SEC. Not all of that is in their control, but what is in their control is how they handle these pressure situations, which really has been one of the more impressive factors about this Lady Vol squad, and something that certainly stands out to head coach Karen Weekly, that despite having these road series against teams like Texas or Oklahoma and going there and getting wins and then being the #1 ranked team in the country for a moment, their ability to handle that pressure, to thrive in pressure situations, has certainly been an impressive quality of this team this season.
They respond right away. I kind of compare growth to the stock market. You're going to go up, and then you're going to maybe take a little step down, and you're going to go up and down and up and down. But, if you were to draw a line all across the peaks for the last 50 years, it has steadily increased. And that's the way any, team's growth is. And that's the way our growth's been. Friday night, down at Ole Miss, we took a little dip. But what I love about this team is they respond the next day.
And one thing that stands out about Texas A&M are the quality batters that they have. They're certainly a team full of heavy hitters. So this game and series will certainly come down to what the pitching staff and what the defense can do. And while Carlin Pickens can handle just about anybody in the league, it can't just all be on her shoulders. But when you break it down even beyond what they can do and, their ability to get on base, it's actually once they're on base is where Karen Weekly's attention is staying.
So they've got a very balanced offense. It's going to come down to us making outs when we have those opportunities. Don't let them speed us up. We've got to just play with our eyes, good feet, get one out every time the ball's put in play. And I think we'll be in good shape if we can do that.
We'll have much more on the Lady Vols as they certainly get ready to turn their attention to the postseason. And we'll have so much more coming up over on the homepage on the Sports Source Digital Network for all exciting things you can possibly want when it comes to the Tennessee Vols and Lady Vols. But until then, I'll talk to you guys next week.